It ain't luck, it's destiny.
Hi everyone, welcome. I thought I might do a small update video on the TF nerf video I made 2 weeks ago, since not that a lot of things have changed, but that video was mostly speculation, right, since the patch didn't really hit already, so but now the patch is live for 2 weeks, so I think we can start making a few conclusions and maybe look at a few things, right? I'm gonna try to not make this as long as the last one. So I'll try to keep things as short as possible. The first thing I want to talk about is was the nerf actually successful? So Riot in their patch notes mentioned that the nerf was aimed at pro play. Then they mentioned that the reason why TF is strong in pro play is his global power and consistency C. And then they nerf his Q and E, which doesn't really align with this, right? Global power would be his R, and consistency C would be TF's W, right? And here they nerf his Q and his E. So yeah, the nerf didn't really do anything, and we will cover that now. So I took a few screenshots of the pick and ban from LEC. The main reason why I took LEC is because LEC was the region that had the highest priority on TF in the first place, right? When TF first like rose to power essentially in pro play. LCS teams aren't that likely to pick TF. They pick a lot of other champs. There could be a lot of reasons for this. I'm not a pro play specialist. I think the main reason probably is that European teams tend to play side lane a lot better, and their carries are like they're more carry oriented in jungle, top, and ADC. So they'll pick more utility mids and scaling mids and try to make it happen that way. Whereas I think in NA maybe side laning is a bit underwhelming. So maybe that's one of the reasons. But yeah, as you can see, TF is still banned in competitive in LEC. So yeah, banned over here. I mean, you can see for yourself, right? It's basically not banned every game. There were a few games where TF was not banned, but it's a really low amount. And then when he isn't banned, like this game, Vitality or Fnatic versus Vitality, Fnatic picked it. So yeah, I'll pull up this website as well. Mainly look at LEC here. So yeah, as you can see, TF still has an 80% presence in LEC, which is only after 1 week though, so maybe this is gonna evolve differently, but I don't really see why. I think, like we just talked about the nerf, this doesn't change anything for competitive TF. They don't hit what makes him strong in competitive, so you're still probably gonna wanna pick him. The main reason why they did this nerf, from what I've heard, so I saw Freak's rundown as well, and apparently, I mean, from what he said, he apparently had a good deal in like the reason why they did these changes. So I'm not saying that he made these changes, but they probably asked him for feedback or something. I'm not sure what happened there exactly. But the main reason why they did this is because they wanted to deviate TF from going rapid fire cannon, so they wanted TF to basically build AP, which I think in their heads would make him drop in priority. But the thing is, like I just said, you don't pick TF in pro play for damage, you pick him for his utility. So if you nerf his damage, it's not like you're gonna now wanna build AP build, right? Because this, let's say they changed 65% to like 80 or 90 or even higher, then maybe you're gonna wanna build AP. But if that's not the case, like you're probably still gonna wanna go rapid fire cannon, right? Since it just gives more utility, and that's also what happened in LEC. As you can see, Humanoid still goes Everfrost into rapid fire cannon, because that's why that's first of all why you pick TF, for utility, and this item just makes his utility so much better. I don't see why you would build AP even after the changes, in pro play that is though. So yeah, that's that. So was the nerf successful? Did it hit what they wanted? Probably not. Korea and LPL still have to play on the new patch, but I'm assuming that it's gonna be very similar to this, where TF is still gonna have high pick and ban priority. So yeah, I'm a bit worried now, because if Riot hits him again, then it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough for him, that's for sure. So we'll have to see what happens, right? Now, something else I wanted to talk about is, let's say Riot nerf TF again and they nerf him so hard that, yeah, he loses just competitive viability. What is gonna happen after that, right? I don't necessarily think a lot will change. The picks that are viable in competitive right now for mid lane especially are mostly scaling mids or supportive mids. So you have Ryze, this is mostly tank build Ryze as well, so this is, yeah, perfect utility for your team, right? Your carries are in the jungle and on ADC and top lane, and then Ryze with the tank build kind of serves as a secondary tank or utility mage essentially to set up his team. Victor is a scaling mage that doesn't really need a lot of attention. So it's not a supportive pick necessarily, but the main thing with this champ is that he doesn't need any help really. He can just scale up mid safely and has a lot of wave clear, so he has a lot of times he has priority, right, to move for his jungle. Ahri also has good utility with her charm, also has good push now with her Q. Corki is the same as Victor, just a scaling mage, so doesn't need any attention. Twisted Fate, yeah, utility, pure utility. Orianna also scaling mage, good utility as well with her R and shield and W for movement speed for the jungle. You can see where I'm going, right? Zilean mid is also getting very high priority as well in pro play. We've seen LS come out with Soraka mid, Ivern mid is rising in priority. Mid lane essentially is more and more so deviating towards a supportive role. Now why is this, you may ask, and that's mainly over here, right? The jungle and the ADC role. Top lane role kind of also as well. The picks we see, meta and top lane, Jace, Graves, those are also like carry champions, right? And you need utility somewhere in your team. You can't pick like carry in top, carry mid, carry ADC and carry in the jungle. That doesn't work like that. The team needs utility to set up for team fights. And that's, yeah, going to the mid lane more so now. Yeah, in jungle we see Gwen, Xin Zhao, Lee Sin, Diana, Viego, those are all carry champions. Jarvan, people say that this is more a supportive pick. It is kind of supportive, it's gank heavy, but I would say now with Core Drinker and stuff, Jarvan can be a hard carry champ as well. And then ADC, yeah, ADC is really good in pro play, right? Especially with the supports and stuff that are meta right now, where we see more shielding supports as well. So ADCs are really strong into the mid and late game. So yeah, that's why you have more utility picks in mid lane right now. So if Riot, like I said, nerfs TF again even harder, then yeah, maybe TF isn't gonna be picked anymore, but you're still gonna see like other utility mid lane picks. Maybe mid lane Karma comes back. We've seen Ivern, we've seen Soraka, we see Zilean. You know, there's a lot of other utility mids that you could pick other than TF, right? So yeah. So that's with the competitive side of the nerf. Like I said, it didn't hit anything like what made TF for competitive viable. If they wanna hit him again, like they say here, right, they would have to nerf his global power or consistency C, or his CC in his W, or they would have to remove a rapid fire cannon. If they remove a rapid fire cannon, I think TF is probably gonna be borderline unplayable, but I think maybe if they do that, then he's gonna be probably easier to balance. So let's say they remove the rapid fire cannon interaction, but they give him more power in his abilities, to where the champion is more damage oriented and less utility, right? So the rapid fire cannon is gonna give him more damage as compensation for the rapid fire cannon interaction. If they remove it, then that could be an option as well. But as long as they don't touch this, then TF is gonna stay viable, especially in competitive. So yeah, like I said, that's it with the competitive changes. So for solo queue, because I think that's probably what most of you want to know about, TF dropped to like 43-44%, but this was probably there was a bug with his W, so I think that was probably the main reason why it dropped that hard. He's kind of recovering right now. He's sitting at 48%, so he is kind of recovering. I think the only thing that really dropped is his pick rate. So before, TF's pick rate in solo queue would be up here, right? So it was like between 8 and 10%. So that dropped a lot. I think it's like, yeah, it's 3.5. So it dropped in priority, but he still played for sure, just less by less players. But yeah, like I said, with the win rate, he is recovering. So hopefully he can rise up again. And I don't see any reason why he wouldn't, because like I said, these changes, they're bad for him, but I don't see why it would kill the champ completely, because the thing that makes TF strong is W, and his R is untouched. Am I still playing TF? Yes, I am. So for me, like I talked about in the video, right, TF has become a little bit more of a situational pick for me. I'm not blind picking him every game anymore. I'll see like what my teammates are picking, what the enemy team has, and according to that I will like pick TF. So yeah, I'm not blind picking him anymore, but I think TF shouldn't also be a champion that you blind pick. It should be a situational pick. It shouldn't like fit into every single game. There should be games where you should be like, maybe TF doesn't really feel that good here, so maybe I shouldn't play it, right? So yeah, but I'm still playing him, and in terms of setup, nothing has changed. I'm still running the same runes, I'm still building the same items. I think the only thing that has changed is I am starting W more often, but it's not like yeah, it kind of depends. I'm kind of testing it out still. I don't think E start is bad now with the nerf, but yeah, I think W start isn't bad. Let's just say that. I still have to figure it out. Like for example, this game I started E. I think E start still has its place. It's a lot easier to last hit with E as well. And to get some damage onto the enemy, just to get like agency over the lane essentially. Whereas with W, the second you use W, you know, you don't have anything anymore, right? So yeah, I'm still experimenting with that a bit. The only thing that really changed is dematerializer. So now with the Q nerf, I covered this in the video, you don't one-shot the backline anymore at level 9 with 1 Q. So if you go rapid fire cannon second, that is, apparently if you go AP item second, so let's say you go Everfrost into Zhonya or into Lichbane, you can still one-shot them at level 9. But yeah, this is really situational. I don't go AP item second every single time. Sometimes I really want to get rapid fire second if I'm playing for my team. So it kind of depends. But so with the dematerializer, I'm more so using it right now to get good resets off. So I'll use it on a cannon minion to get a good base, or so like let's say the wave, right, and I want to look to base. I'll use it on a cannon to push in really fast. Enemy can't match my push since I just one-shot the cannon with the dematerializer, and then I can get a good recall that way. That's kind of how I'm using the dematerializer right now. I'm not only using it on cannons though, so I'll use one dematerializer on every type of minion. So one on the cannon, one on the melee and one on the range minion, essentially. Some games I'll use 2 on melees and 1 on a cannon. It kind of depends from game to game, but I'm not using them on the ranged minions only anymore. So that's probably the biggest change for me. But other than that, I'm still buying rapid fire cannon second. I'm still running just standard electrocute page. My playstyle is still the same. Yeah, I'm just picking him a bit less often. That's basically it, really. Another thing which I've gotten quite a few questions about is like, now that you don't one-shot the backline anymore if you go rapid fire cannon second with D-mats, like, are there other options for me to go in the secondary, in the inspiration tree? I don't really think so. I'm gonna explain why. So first of all, boots. I buy tier 2 boots really early in the game, so I don't want to wait till minute 12 before I can get my boots. I don't really like it. TF is movement speed reliant, so I want to get my boots ASAP. So that's why I don't really like this on TF. Stopwatch is a viable like thing to go. So you could go stopwatch. That's an option. Futures market, so people have been talking about this as well. I think this is good on mages that want to pace on Lost Chapter. But yeah, like I just said, I tend to buy like these items, or I'll buy full tier 2 boots on my first base. Kind of depends, but it's not like I wanna get Lost Chapter every time on my first base. Let's say if you play a mage like Malzahar or Victor, those are champions that really benefit from getting Lost Chapter on their first base, so then I would say Lost Chapter makes a lot of sense. But TF is not really that dependent on this exact amount of gold, which is why I don't like futures market that much as well on TF. Cookies, in my eyes, this is a wasted rune, so yeah, I still run Dematerializer. And then on the bottom 3, so Cosmic Insight isn't bad, but then you can't go Time Warp Tonic, and in my eyes Time Warp Tonic, especially on TF, is just not a must have, but it's just so nice, you know. It gives you all the sustain, you get movement speed when you're under the effect, which, like I said, TF is movement speed reliant, so it's a really nice rune to have. So yeah, that's that with Inspiration 3. I think that's basically about it. I can probably close out the video here. So TF isn't dead. You can still play him. He's a bit weaker for sure. Right? We're not gonna be blind to the nerfs, right? But he's for sure still playable if you just pick him in the right situations. So let's see what happens, right? The next patch has no TF changes at all from what I've seen, but I'm assuming Riot wants to probably wait out a bit longer. Maybe they want to see what LPL does and LCK does, and maybe after that they'll take a look at the changes again, but we'll have to see what happens. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll try to keep you guys updated if another TF change hits or something like that. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you have like thoughts or something, leave them down in the comments and I'll read it out. And yeah, I'll leave it at that, guys. Bye.